Welcome back, guys. EDC Nerd here, and today I've got a really fun video, just a little overview of a really fun little pocket knife, and this is the Spyderco Mcbee. This thing is tiny, it is small, it is fun. If you haven't heard about the Mcbee, this is a Spyderco made in the Taichung, Taiwan factory, which is one of their best factories as far as detail and stuff like that goes. Also, the designer behind this is Jonathan Mcnees from Mcnees Custom Knives. He does a lot of cool work, and this is based off of one of his customs, the Killer Bee, which is a super nice, cool little knife. But this one's going to be able to get that design in your hands for a lot more affordable price point, since the Killer Bee is, I think, like $400 or something like that, and it looks pretty much identical to this. So with this, you're going to be able to get that design, but in a much more affordable package. So I think that's really awesome. Anyways, let's get some size comparisons on this guy, and then we'll move into some other things about it. So first off, we're going to start with the rat number one. It completely dwarfs this knife. I mean, there's rat number one, and this thing could fit in the blade of the rat number one. So that's crazy. So let's go ahead and get another size comparison on this guy. Here is your Benchmade bug out. Right there, still dwarfs this little guy. Just put the size comparison. There's a regular bug out. Here's a mini bug out. I mean, this is a mini bug out, and this can fit open pretty much in the handle. This is showing you this is a tiny knife. Here is a Spyderco Dragonfly, the huge, monstrous Spyderco Dragonfly. Whoa, look how big that Dragonfly is. Jeez. Call that the Spyderco Dragon. Holy frick. Jesus. No, I'm just playing, guys. But there's that. And then also, just because I love showing this off, the Chris Reeve Small Sabenza 21. Just a legendary knife. And this fits pretty much in the handle of the small Sabenza. This is fun, guys. I'm having a blast. Okay. Oh. Now let's get into the meat and the potatoes behind this little knife. Joking, I don't have an accent. So, on this guy, you're looking at an overall length of 3.82 inches. So that's going to be from the tip right here to the back of the scale there. You're also looking at a blade length of 1.52 inches. That's from this scale right here to the tip here. Then you're going to be looking at a cutting edge, boop, boop, of 1.49 ounces. You're also going to be looking at a blade width, which is from the bevel here to the back of the spine, of 1 inch. And then your blade thickness, whoop, is going to be 0.11, which is slightly thicker than your bug out and your mini bug out. Both the mini and the regular bug out, their blade stocks are, I think, a 0.9. So this is a 0.11, so it's slightly a little bit larger than that. And then you've got your handle length is 2.3 inches. So from here to here is 2.3 inches. And then your handle width, which is from here to here, is going to be 0.875 inches. And then your weight on this little guy. The weight on this little tiny knife is 1.7 ounces, which is incredibly light and incredibly small. But then again, this is an incredibly small knife. Now, like I said before, the designer behind this is Jonathan Mcnees. You can see his logo right there. Really cool little logo. And then, like I said, this is made in the Taichung, Taiwan factory, which is their highest attention to detail, highest quality, I guess, branch factory. So that's really nice to see on this guy. And let me just say, the attention to detail on this thing is marvelous. But let's start with the blade. On the blade, you're going to be getting CTS XHP, which in my opinion is one of my favorite EDC steels. I love Spyderco CTS XHP. I don't know why. To me, it always seems to stay sharp, hold an edge great. The corrosion resistance is really good. And I don't know, it doesn't chip that easy, so I really like that about it. Now, you can also see here that you're getting a Wharncliffe blade, but a really cool one at that. So you kind of got this dip here, so if you wanted to hold a knife like this, put your finger right there, you know, you got a little working thing. And then right here, they got another dip right here before the tip. dip before the tip. Anyways, you can put your finger right here and get some detailed fine cutting like that, which is really nice to see. So I think this knife is really spunky looking, really cool looking, really aesthetic. All right. So moving on from the also you're getting a I want to say a saber grind. I wouldn't say that's a hollow grind, is it? It might be a hollow grind. Anyways, you're getting titanium scales on both sides, so you're going to be getting a RIL, Reeve Integral Lock, right here, which is a frame lock, guys. And if you don't know what that means, Reeve Integral Lock is because Chris Reeve designed the frame lock. So, I just taught you something if you didn't know that. If you didn't know that, cool. Okay, and so you're going to be getting a frame lock here. And what I really love about this frame lock is the fact that they put a really nice cutout right here where you can get your finger right in there. And then if you look right here, there is a like bumps up. See that? And then there's like a some like hammering texture, kind of like right here on the pivot, right there. And this thing is beautiful and well chamfered, not sharp, and it just disengages the blade really nicely. I really like when a frame lock is executed like this. When you've got the cutout really nice, your finger can slip in there nice and easy. And when you touch that lock bar and there's no sharp edges, to me, that is detail. I love that. Especially because I'm spoiled over here with the Chris Reeve being like that. You know, they chamfer. See that chamfer right there? It's chamfered. You get the cutout. It's perfect. I love the way Chris Reeve does his frame locks. I just do. Now, I've had some other knives, like a, man, I can't let me think of what knife was that. Oh, that was the Ray Laconico Angry Baby Bear. I'm not dogging the knife. I'm just simply saying I had the one with the carbon fiber, and it was like the bolster lock, and I loved the knife, but I hated the lock bar on it. It was so freaking sharp. Like, every time I used it, my finger felt like I was like touching the blade of the knife. I hated that. And it basically led to me selling that knife. But with how beautiful this lock bar is done, just the little details on this thing really just set it apart. And I guess since it is such a small knife, the details are important because there's not much to look at anyway. But I think that's just a really beautiful thing. And I love the way they did this lock bar. That's one of the great things about this knife. Another great thing about this knife is they're kind of keeping the theme with the hammering texture right here on the pivot on both sides, right here in the relief cut, and like I said, right there on the lock bar. So, you know, they're paying real close attention to detail in there. The fit and finish on this is great. If you look right here in the holes, speed holes, drilled in the front show side scale, you can see they're all chamfered in there. I don't know, but that really just screams detail to me. Not to mention, look how all these edges are nice and chamfered. You see this? All these sharp edges on this knife are chamfered. Wow. That is amazing. That is amazing. I can't stand a knife that has got just sharp edges all around it. That, to me, that's just like, what? Like, for instance, I'm going to go back to the Ray Laconico Angry Baby Bear. It threw me off because there were so many sharp edges and so many things, and I was like, at this price? Are you kidding me? But this, you can definitely tell that they looked at every aspect, even the back of the spine. I mean, it's not a crown spine like the Chris Reeve or anything, you know. It's not a crown spine. But they didn't leave sharp edges. Right here on the edges, they're chamfered. Do you see that? To me, that's a beautiful thing. Also, inside of the Spidey hole, it's chamfered. It's not just a sharp hole like your the Dragonfly. The hole is sharp. Like, if I flip this open with my finger, you're gonna see fingernail dust come off of my finger. Watch this. Did you see it flying away? I saw it, and that's because they left this hole sharp. So, what factory is this made in? Seki City, Japan. See? I always get that backwards. Taichung, Taiwan factory pays much, much closer attention to detail, which I really appreciate. Another beautiful thing about this knife, honestly, I'm going to have to say it, the size. I absolutely love the size of this knife. If this knife was a bigger knife, I don't know how it would feel with the look of the blade and everything like that. But to me, I mean, this is executed perfectly. The size of this knife is perfect for the design. Absolutely love it. I get a full 2-finger grip here, but with this little thing right here, I mean, this thing is solid. It's not coming out of your hand. It feels really nice. And you also got a little lanyard hole right here where you could put a lanyard on there with a bead if you wanted to get these extra 2 little fingers somewhere to hold on to. But to me, I mean, this fits great. It just is nice. And you can also, with this little dip right here, you could pinch here, get there, do some detailed cutting, which I think is really nice, and I really enjoy that as well. Now, let's talk about something I don't like on this knife. There's only one thing about this knife I don't like. Well, okay, just kidding. There's 2 things on this knife I don't like. So, first of all, I do not like this clip. I am not a fan of Spyderco's regular standard clips. I'm just not. A lot of people like them. I personally do not. I always find myself going with like a Lynch clip or MXG gear or something else. I just don't like these clips. Not to mention, this clip is almost the entire length of the knife, which makes it harder to get in the pocket, which sounds kind of funny, but if you really think about it, check this out. Say on, for instance, even just this knife. If when you put this, say this is your pocket right here. If this is your pocket and you slide this down, this part of the knife's already in your pocket, so when you push down, the clip just goes right over the edge of your pocket and slides in, right? Cool. Now, since this knife doesn't have much knife before the clip, you have to like line up the clip with the edge of your pants and then use almost, not 2 hands. I got good at it now, but at first I was kind of like, dang, getting it in there. So I am going to be ordering another clip, a new one, a custom one from Mcnees, Jonathan Mcnees. He's got a little website. I'm going to order one of his clips for the Mcbee. He makes some stuff for the Mcbee, so I'm going to get a custom clip for the Mcbee. That way I get a little better pocket clip because I really do like this knife. The action on this little thing is absolutely superb. For such a little knife, the action is fantastic. And it is running on phosphor bronze washers. But geez, this thing is just fantastic. I love it. But the other thing I don't like about this knife, because I did say there was 2 things, is you're going to say, okay, I can understand, but there's no sharpening choil right here. Now, I do understand that by putting a sharpening choil on such a tiny blade, you will be taking away some of the cutting edge. But, I mean, at the same time, guys, I mean, really, it is already so small. Does it matter that much to put a tiny sharpening choil? I don't think so. Not to mention, you don't have to put it here. They could have took away some of this extra bumpage here and then put it here, you know, and kept the length of the blade and just put it right there. But they didn't. So that's whatever. I might put an aftermarket sharpening choil right there. I don't know yet. But there's that. But that's the only fusses I have about this knife. Other than that, I absolutely love this thing. I enjoy carrying it as a backup knife and as a primary knife. I carry it for both. It is just a fun little knife to carry. I really, really enjoy it. And I think you guys will enjoy it too. So if you're interested in this little knife, I'm going to leave a link down below where you can find one of these. If you're not interested, still thank you for watching the video and checking this guy out. But I do think everybody will like it because it is so fun. I don't know. Something about carrying a small knife is like a fresh breath of air. I don't know. If I'm used to carrying such big, large knives, and then you know, throw this in the pocket, and it's kind of a little bit different. Throws a little extra flair in there. So if you guys are interested in that at all, or interested in checking one of these little guys out, I would do so. It's really fun. It's a great knife. This is definitely a gem, in my opinion. Definitely a good knife. So if you enjoyed the video, guys, hit the thumbs up button. Go ahead and click subscribe for me, and then I'll see you guys on the next one. So, yeah, y'all have a blessed day. Be careful, be safe, and I'll catch y'all later.